This video review is being brought to you by PrimeToys.net. PrimeToys.net, where you can get collector grade toys at not the collector grade prices. PrimeToys.net. And I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hey guys, this is your friend Dinobot here once again with another video review. And as you can see, we're finally going to start looking at something I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and I just haven't been able to get around to doing them. And that is Transformers Voyager class, Combiner Wars Voyager class Constructicons. And we're going to start off the review with Scrapper, or this series of reviews, I should say. Massive. If you have not picked these guys up yet, if you haven't gone around and picked up the Takara, or the Hasbro version, which is what this one is, I highly recommend you do. Their prices are actually starting to drop a little bit, and if you did like I did, I actually was at my local Toys R Us and walked in there and I was like, holy crap, they actually have him. And I saw him in there, I was like, dude, I was like, I gotta get him, but I don't, $160 is kind of high. And I got to looking on my phone at other prices, and I actually found on Toy Wiz that they had them cheaper at $130. So I went up and said, do you guys price match? They say, yes, we do. I was like, do you have to have an ad, or do you have to have, whatnot, something to show it? They said, if you have an ad, it's fine. If you have it on your phone or the image or whatever, that's fine too. I was like, cool. So I showed them the image, and the manager said, yep, we can do that. So I actually got mine for about $30 cheaper, which ain't too bad. But before we get on to going on this, let's get into looking at Scrapper here. Now, one thing about these guys is, as we've said, they are huge, but because they're like I said, they're Voyager class, so they're pretty good size for this breed, and everybody was complaining that Devastator's huge, and when she is, we'll get into that video later on once we get through all the Constructicons. But we'll start off again here with Scrapper, and one thing I really like about it is the paint on it is really, really cool. It's really, really to the original G1 scheme. You got the basically greenish, yellowish color. I'm not sure which whether you would describe it as more green. It's like a light green with yellow, I guess, put into it, but at least that's what it looks like to me. Of course, you got the black plastic for the tires, and you got this purple all through it. You got other little bits red. We'll get into that more later on. You got the silver, of course, but it looks really, really good. Nice, very nice detail work. As I've noticed on these guys, they have some, especially like Scrapper, some of the other ones, they have some real nice inlay detail, which I'm going to try to zoom in a bit here and show it off. You see it's got some good detail work for the ladder, going up towards, basically going up to the cockpit or whatever for it, driver's seat. Got some nice work back here, and same up around the front end here. I'm going to raise the scoop up out of the way. Like up around here, like the good detail where you would see if you were to actually go see one of these bulldozers in a construction yard, you would say, hey, that's looks like it. Now, one thing I'm going to do on these reviews is I'm going to do something a little bit different. If you watch my other videos where I've compared them, I transform into their limb mode, robot mode, and the other limb mode and stuff. This one I'm just going to do is robot mode. Because I'm going to try to do a decent video on Devastator himself, so I'm going to leave the limb mode till that video, because that one's actually going to take a little while, so I may have to do a two-parter. I don't know. I have to wait and see how that goes. But again, let's go ahead and do a couple things here. Devastator come with a bunch of stuff with him. He had all of his accessories, but he didn't have any individual weaponry for each Constructicon. But you can take a couple of the take the wings here from Devastator, because it's parted out for the chest piece, which is actually pretty good, but we'll get, again, that's something for another time for the Devastator review. But you can take these, and if you had the G1 Scrapper, he actually had it where he came with that. This is the basically the chest piece, which I don't have the main gun, the main centerpiece here with me, but it came with Scrapper, and it would, like, he's got these little peg holes here. The G1 Scrapper had it there, where that would peg on his back, and it'd be like almost like a little drone or wings set that you have for him for battle mode. You can do this with Scrapper to a degree without that centerpiece, where again you have these peg holes here, or excuse me, pegs, and you have the peg hole on the bottom of the wing, which you basically just peg that right into that. I'm gonna try to line it up there. You can do it like so on one on each side. Again, there's the other peg hole. Just try to get lined up just right. Well, it's not just right, but you can peg it in. And there you have Scrapper with this armament on him. And it looks pretty good. It actually looks like the G1 style, aside from not having the centerpiece there. It still looks really, really good. The only qualm I have is it does look kind of odd. I mean, but as you can see, mine's kind of sitting off. I don't think I got mine pegged up right, but well, that'll be alright. It still looks pretty good for, if you were, say, I've always thought that with the weaponries for in your Transformer, with it being on their body and stuff like this, or on the sides like the Combiner Wars, I always imagine like if you watch the the Voltron cartoon, or Beast King Gold Lion, as it was called in Japan, their weapons would just like appear, like a little zip, and then they're there. And I always pictured that kind of doing that like this on some of the Transformers, or like you've seen in comics and stuff, the panel open up and there's the weapon and stuff like that. But still, pretty good looking for it. We'll remove these and set these aside. And before I transform them, I'm going to do one more thing. And as I said, this is a Voyager, and we're going to compare him to a Deluxe. Yeah, it dwarfs the Deluxe, basically. I mean, lengthwise, off-road here sits almost there. Aside from the scoop and stuff, does kind of stretch him out, but that's still pretty good. And it, towers pretty good. Like, it's basically his con tower here is standing over off-road, but still looks pretty good compared to him. So that's a good size comparison for you. We'll get off-road out of the way, and we'll go ahead and transform Scrapper. Oh, before we get on to the transformation, I have had this little incident on mine. You see, it's got that little bend wear there that's probably my own mistake for not transforming it properly, because I think I've pushed back this away. As you can see, this tab kind of runs into that bar there, and if you don't do it just right, it's going to bend it, and I think I did that by accident. So, I mean, just be mindful of that if you pick this up. It's not really required. You can probably just go ahead and cut that off, but I'm just going to leave it for now. I mean, it's actually a good little block, because that's mostly what it does. It keeps it where you can actually be like a construction vehicle where, it raises up. You don't want to raise it too much, because it'll basically dump back over on the things, like a safety measure for it, basically, is how I've looked at it. But again, let's go ahead and transform him. In the instructions for this, 10 steps, and you're done with Scrapper. The G1, real simple as well. G1, you basically took this panel, flipped this back, raise these up. That's his arms. And then this section was all one piece. It would flip back to here, and this area here was actually a little tab where you push that back, and then you could actually reach up here and pull the head, and that would pull this down and actually release the head to a point to fully extend it. And that's basically how you transform Scrapper in robot mode. It kind of holds this. The transformation kind of emphasizes on that, or remembers, however you want to describe it. Does a callback to it. That's the word I was looking for. There we go. Now, again, let's go into transformation. 10 steps, real easy. Step 1, you basically fold this up, or raise this up, not fold it up, all the way back, and then you fold it forward from this joint here, like so. And that's what you do with the shovel piece. Next step, you'll flip it over to the front. You will unpeg the arms here like so, because they are pegged in. There's a small peg hole here and here on each side of the hand arms that peg right here. You then rotate these back like so, which it's easier to do. Like if you can see, you got this little joint there. you just rotate it up like so. I'll try to do it better this way. You just pull it out and straighten it up like that, and that's it. You then can go ahead and bend these out a little bit, and then you reach here, right here at the forearm, fold out the hand on each side, and there's your hands, or your arms basically. Next, you want to work on the legs, and it has kind of the same one as the kind of gimmick as the Combine Awards, which is pretty nice. You pull this section down and straighten it out on each side like so. You'll then you can turn it over. I'm mostly doing it to show. You'll unpeg this whole section here and flip it down. As you can see, it just popped out of this little hole here, and it just goes straight down into that position. And there's basically his feet, but we're not done with the feet. This last step, basically you grab the back section here, fold it down, and it's going to, I'm going to try to see if I can pull this in right angle on the camera. You have a peg hole here, a peg hole here, and you got those two pegs right there. They're going to pop right into those peg holes like so. As you can see, it just slides right in there because they're perfectly lined up with that. You can either pull apart, or you can do like I do. I tend to just, because there's this tab here that holds the two legs together, I tend to just use this, basically his right leg from this angle, push it forward, and it just slides it right out. It seems like it'd be a lot easier to do that than just pulling it apart as the instructions show. And then we turn him around, straighten his arms back up, straighten that back up. I want to raise this up some. I didn't realize I was so low. And next, all you do is reach right up here, work where his head's at, and pull. And there we have Scrapper in robot mode. That was all there is to it. Real simple transformation. Really cool look to him. Like I said before, he's got nice silver paint here in the legs, here in the base of the chest area, or waist, crotch area. Right here in the solar plexus, he's got the silver here. Nice silver in his face, and you got the red, of course, there and there as well. You got the Decepticon logo there, which I forgot to mention. He does have a Decepticon logo right here on the top of his con tower or driver's seat, basically. I'm not sure basically what they call that in a construction vehicle, but now the only downside to these Hasbro versions is the lack of some joints. We'll start on articulation and we'll get into the problems. His head is on a swivel. It can turn just a little bit though. It can't go all the way around, but you can get a nice little turn look to him to give him a little kind of turn look if you want, like. He can sort of look up and down. There is a little bit there, not much. I don't think it might be on somewhat of a ball joint, but I think like the the side cheek plates here and that kind of, and the back piece here, the back of the head kind of do hinder that, because it does rub right into the body, as you can see there. So that does kind of hinder that. That's still not that big of a problem. He does have the ratchet joint, or excuse me, the joint here that can swivel all the way around. The only problem on his arms is the lack of a elbow joint. There's no bend. There's a swivel. You can swivel it around, but there's no elbow bend. I mean, you can do that, but and it actually rolls around the wheel, so the wheel stays in place and you can sort of roll it around, but there's no elbow swivel, and there's no wrist articulation either. There are some upgrade kits out there that do replace that, to give him that. I forgot the companies that have done that. There are like at least 6 companies out there doing different upgrades for these guys. So you're looking, like I spent $130 on this set. I'm probably going to look at another $50 to another $100 really to fully upgrade them if I really want to, which I might. I'm actually thinking of getting the one that'll make a Proud Stater. And for the life of me, I can't now think of who does that. But let's get back into the review. There's no real waist swivel at all. I mean, it's kind of, well, you can. Excuse me, I forgot you can do this. If you swivel this around the cockpit and have it sticking down, you do get a waist A little bit more of a waist swivel, not much. It seems like there should be some because there is a little gap there. At least it looks like there is, but there's no give to it. See, as you can see, you can actually do that to it. So that is kind of a bad side, or not really a defect, but a little minor problem. The legs, he does have the swivel here. That joint, he does. It's a nice little ratchet joint there. He does have. He does have a knee joint, as you can see. Does have that knee joint there, and he doesn't have really any foot articulation at all. As you can see there, it does kind of. You can kind of, if you worked with it, you could unpeg that and work with something. Like if you want them kind of doing something like this, you can work with that by just unpegging this, and if you got it kind of angled right, nobody will notice that he's doing that. But that's kind of what you can do with that. But we'll just pick it back up. But other than that, that's really all of his articulation. That is the one downside to the Hasbro Constructicons. They have a lot of non-joints, basically. Nothing really wrong with that. But for the price tag, you would think there'd be a little bit more. But that's before we sign off on this video, I'm gonna do one more little comparison, try to straighten them out and scrap her out just a little bit. Give them a nice little stance here. And I'm gonna bring in another size comparison, really, so you can see just how much difference these Voyager, Devastator's going to be compared to the aerial bots or Superion and stuff. I'm going to bring in the aerial bot wannabe, or the little aerial bot that could, Alpha Bravo, just so you can see his comparison, and you can see a definite size difference in height. So just looking at this and getting an idea of how the limb in that it's going to look, it's going to give you an idea how massive Devastator will be. I can almost guarantee that when I get Devastator put up here, he's probably going to be bigger than my background there. So definitely look forward to that, guys. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. This is, like I said, this is going to be a quick little video on this guy. And as always, guys, please like, comment, and share this video. And if you want to pick Scrapper up, you definitely pick up. If you want to save you a little bit of money, and you want just get the Hasbro version, you can definitely do that. Prime Toys, check them out. You can definitely pick this guy up there. I know they have the Unite Warriors, which is the Takara version of these guys, and I think I can't remember the exact price, but I will post a link to that link down there below if you guys want to pick him up instead of the Hasbro, because that one does come with all the weapons for each of the individual bots. But also, guys, check out Transmissions, because if you go check out Transmissions and listen to their podcast, you will definitely find a code on there for Transmissions December. You use that code, you go use 10% on your, put the code in at checkout at primetoys.net, save 10% off your order and 10% off of the Constructicons if that's the set you want to get. They got a bunch of pre-orders up for Ironhide, for the Masterpiece Ironhide, the Masterpiece Ratchet, all those guys getting ready to come out, the Masterpiece Shockwave, Hot Rod, definitely great prices, because it's collector grade toys and not the collector grade prices. And if you want to, guys, please follow me down below on Twitter, Instagram, and if you want to shoot me an email, please do feel free to do that. But if I haven't said it enough, please like, comment, and share this video. Tell me what you think. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. And this is Dimebot saying thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to hear from you soon.